there's a saying that says if you want to be an expert, you have, and this isn't about my industry, it's broader. You have to perform 10,000 hours. Have you ever heard that?
I think I have.
It's called called deliberate practice. It's a whole philosophy.
10,000
10,000 hours of doing something will make you an expert. And there's actually a book on it. It's a great read. And they have some of the easy examples, like a Tiger Woods. What makes Tiger Woods Tiger and not anybody else, near him? And it's this that they studied it, and deliberate practice means 10,000 hours. And I have certainly performed evaluation of conversations for more than 10,000 hours. On that. And so that's why we're ahead.
10,000 hours is basically 5 years of, if you were working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
That 5 years.
20/80 is usually the standard, right?
And actually the practice of deliberate practice says you can't do it 8 hours a day. You have to be able to, you can't do it for more than 6. And you have to focus on every single aspect of your trade.
Yeah.
So it's not just, hey, practice golf. It's 6 hours a day of short putts. It's 6 hours a day, so you have to take each piece of it.
Yeah. Here's I'll give you a really good inside golf Tiger Woods story.
Okay.
Most people, I'm a big golfer. I love geeking out on certain things. So John Cook is a former PGA. I don't think he's playing on the Champions Tour. I don't think he plays anymore, but he's probably 20 years older than Tiger, right? So Tiger comes onto the scene in the late 90s, and it's about the time of his prime. 2001 was like
the prime.
Vintage Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And there was an interview where John Cook, they're asking him, and everybody gets interviewed, doesn't matter who it is, they're asking about Tiger Woods, right? And they're asking him, hey, what makes the difference? He's like, well, I'll tell you, we were at our home club the other day, and he belongs to the same club, whatever. And we had just played 9 holes, and Tiger was out on the range hitting a 9-iron.
Yep.
And he, we talked to him a little bit, hitting the 9-iron. Well, then, we eat some lunch, and then we go out and we play, they did whatever, and then they come back. So it's like 2.5 hours later, and Tiger's still on the range, and he's still hitting a 9-iron. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, I'm just one groove off. So if you look at the face of an iron, there's these grooves in there, right, that help spin the ball. And that's how the technology will change at times, from like a V groove to a U groove and all this kind of stuff, and how the ball does or does not spin. But I mean, he's feeling like something that's like a fraction of you can't even measure it.
Yes.
Like the naked eye, but for 2.5 hours, he just was not happy and content with where he was. And I'm sure the shots looked fine. I'm sure John Cook, I'm trying to remember the magazine article, but he's like, I don't really see the problem. But to Tiger, it wasn't satisfactory because he was just not hitting it exactly on the groove that he wanted to.
Yes.
And he's like, well, have a good day. And he's like, I don't know how much longer he was out there. One club for at least what he saw for 2.5 hours.
That's deliberate practice.
And I'm sure, again, you would, if you charted all that with the technology we have now, you would be amazed at like just the infinitesimal, degree of which he was trying to perfect, whatever he was trying to do. So anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly the practice. And it's just that one piece. He was just working on that one technique. So, in my own life, I'm a huge follower of deliberate practice.
Yeah.
And I believe in the philosophy, and I've been living it even before I learned about it for years. And you become obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean the practice. I mean, but when you become obsessed with learning how to do every element of your trade to its level of excellence, and that's just driving you, boy, it takes a long time to get to it.
Yeah.
But when you hit that your stride, it's extremely powerful. And that's what he hit clearly. And he's been practicing that. The story is public, right? He was a child as all that started. And so it takes years to do that.